Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Asta Was a Monster Rider? This is part 3. In the last part, Asta, alongside that of Yuno, began to train and prepare for that to the Magic Knight exam, now that they have their grimoires. With Asta training with that of his monsties, being Score, Ratha, and Volt. Even that of, Score helping out that of Yuno from time to time. Within Asta getting trained by that of Kruger in the ways of swordsmanship, helping Asta improve using that of his anti-magic sword. However, when it's time for Yuno and Asta to leave, Asta's monsties decided to come with them, as this was something that Asta was debating on, but the three of them convinced him to take them with him. What will fate have in store for Asta and his 3 monsties? So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Thanks to Asta having that of his monsties, normally to reach out of the Clover Kingdom capital in the noble realm of the kingdom would take that of at least a good 2 or 3 days, actually. However, thanks to that of his monsties, with Score and Ratha flying them, and since Volt may not be able to fly, he's still fast enough to basically, keep up with them, after all, given on how fast he's able to run, being a Zenogre and all. The time that they reach there is basically no time. There were a few instances that a few people were a little scared seeing the creatures, but nothing too major since both Yuno and Asta kept moving. So instead, they arrive at the capital in no time. Then Asta can't help but be shocked and surprised as he's currently on the back of Score, as Yuno decided to ride on that of, Volt's back, actually. And part of him kind of regrets it, to be honest. He's not used to all of the gyrating between that of on his riding, actually. So maybe he'll stick to basically Score and flying. Even though Yuno is able to fly on his own with that of his wind magic, given the training he's gone through. But he would at least want to show that he doesn't have any favoritism towards that of Score alone, just like how Asta has no favoritism against all 3 of them, that he loves them all equally. But even so, even though he does care about them just as much as Asta, let's just say he's not good at the whole riding thing after all. At least not yet, or maybe he should have taken more effort on it when they were younger, instead of a few times. Then soon, getting out of his own thoughts, but then thinking, we should get going, saying, right. Before then saying, oh, that reminds me, I don't think the capital is going to allow you guys to basically just stroll on in after all, especially since we're not Magic Knights yet. They'll probably let it slide a little bit, but even so, once we become Magic Knights. Then soon, saying, surprised you thought about that through. But then Asta getting annoyed saying, hey, I think things through. Then looking at his monsties as 2 of them were annoyed, especially being Score and Ratha. But Volt's feeling kind of down, knowing that he can't basically follow in. Then soon saying, don't worry, once the Magic Knight exam is over, I'll get you guys as soon as possible. Trust me. Then, after saying that, all 3 of them couldn't help but perk up at least a little bit more, with Ratha nodding in that of acceptance, Volt being a little bit more happy, but still down that he won't be able to spend more time with that of Asta, and Score reluctantly accepting it as well. But Score was a little happy knowing that he can at least get some more sleep after all. With that, the 2 foster brothers began to head into that of the capital. However, given that these 2 brothers who lived on that of the countryside, mainly that of the Forsaken Realm of the Clover Kingdom, they both couldn't help but be, somewhat shocked and surprised on seeing how massive the capital is, especially on the inside, and how fancy it looks as well. Especially Asta basically going all and wow about everything, while having that of stars in his eyes, jumping around almost like that of a little kid at a candy shop. Then, Asta getting some food alongside that of Yuno, but Asta paying way more given that he bought more food for himself. Then, soon, Looking around, they finally arrive at where the Magic Knight exam registration is at. We're then seeing that of tons of applicants lining up all together, with Yuno still having his stoic look on him, and Asta having to have an excited smile on his face, with showing that as both of them show their grimoires and them being accepted in, as Asta basically getting more and more excited. He soon was about to run into somebody. However, he stopped last minute before he did, with then soon saying, sorry, I almost ran into you there, with then realizing how big the guy is, as he being quite the muscular man, wearing that of a black robe on the right side of his shoulder, as he has to have a 5 o'clock shadow with somewhat messy spiky hair and a cigarette in that between his fingers, saying, were you about to run into me, kid? You should know better than that. With then soon Asta actually getting somewhat terrified, thinking, is this guy really the same age as me? I mean, he looks like a grown-ass man. With then soon that of a young man with that of a green uniform, brown trousers, and that of green boots, as he has that of curly brown hair, as he has somewhat of a pretty handsome face, but it's still somewhat plain at the same time as well, saying, Captain Yami, what are you doing down here? These are where the applicants are. With then soon Asta couldn't help but actually have that of a shocked eye, saying, Captain? Wait, is he? With then soon the guy known as Captain Yami, as he's definitely a Magic Knight captain, saying, I was looking for a place to take a shit. Just telling this kid to make sure to watch where he's going, because he almost ran into me. Within soon, another guy wearing that of a black uniform, having that of a black hat on his head with tons of white makeup and also eyeshadows and that of black lipstick, while also having that of another Magic Knight robe similar to that of the other two. Within, they begin getting that of a crowd, with many people basically muttering, with one of them saying about that of the guy in green, saying, hey, isn't that Finral? Yeah, he uses that as spatial magic. It's pretty rare, to be honest, but he's also a bit of a womanizer. Within, another person commenting about the guy with the makeup and with that, and kind of sounds pretty, soft-spoken actually, saying, and that guy is Gordon. He specializes in that of poison magic. And I also hear that the reason he doesn't talk too much is because he's putting curses on people due to his muttering. Within, a few more people couldn't help but comment saying, well, that's what you expect from the Black Bulls, the worst Magic Knight squad in all the Clover Kingdom. With then soon Finral creating that of a spatial portal, allowing that of him, his captain, and Gordon to basically go through to that where the stands are, and to where the captains are as well for Yami. With then soon Asta can help but say, oh boy, if that's how the worst Magic Knight captain is like, what's to show what the other captains are like? Within soon Asta getting back into his groove, saying, no, I come this far, I worked so hard, no way in hell I'm letting my nerves get the best of me. I just gotta work hard and show what I'm capable of. My dream to become Wizard King will not be stopped. As for everything else, the Magic Knight exam begins to start. Well, it already started with tons of anti-magic birds basically coming down and that of the arena, especially given that they began to peck at Asta a lot, given that he has no magic. However, as for Yuno, on the other hand, they basically don't even bother going near him at all. Not a single one. As many of them couldn't help but admire Yuno basically, not being pecked by a single Magic Knight bird, especially the captains, showing that he has quite a bit of abundance of mana. However, some people couldn't help but laugh at Asta, given that he's constantly getting pecked at by anti-magic birds after all, given that, he has no magic whatsoever. However, on the outskirts of the Clover Kingdom, Turns out both Volt, alongside that of Ratha, couldn't help but get annoyed knowing that their, writer is basically being disrespected. Score doesn't look like he cares too much, but you can actually hear that of the rattling from his tail basically going off, showing that of his annoyance and discomfort from Asta being picked on after all. With then soon, William Vengeance, the one who will basically overseeing that of the exams, the captain of the Golden Dawn, Magic Knight Squad, tells that everything will now begin, with the first task being that of showing their capabilities on that of a broom, as he uses that of his Yggdrasil magic to create that of a magic tree in the center of the testing site, as it creates that of magic brooms for everybody to use to fly, with many participants doing as they would in canon. Some worked well, some did quite poorly, but still decent enough, while some, such as Asta, can't even fly whatsoever because of no magic, of course. With many people thinking that Asta is trying to take a shit on out of the ground, after all. Within, one guy that's basically been, around Asta all this time and been, messing with him this entire time as well, being that of Seiki. Within, failing that exam, the next one being that of magical control, as everybody begins to show on how capable they're able to sustain that of a magic spell without it losing control. With Yuno passing once again with flying colors, and Asta, still failed, because again, can't use magic, with once again being that of laughed at once as always. However, not letting it get to him, he could still continues to move through each and every one of the exams. Within, being that of precision, aiming as they'll be basically facing against that of a target, with soon, hitting dead center in the target with that of his wind blast. As for Asta, instead of, using that of instead of just standing there doing nothing like an idiot, he basically pulls out that of his grimoire, pulls out that of the Demon Slayer sword, and then, with just one hand and full strength, he basically just chucks it into that of the target, stabbing right into that of the center, with many people couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, with even that of the Magic Knight captains couldn't help but be somewhat impressed with that of Asta's abilities to just throw that of a sword. However, some of them realize that the sword doesn't have that of magical properties, even though it came straight out of his grimoire, which made it somewhat of a mystery. Even though Asta didn't use any magic, he still somewhat passed, because it did hit dead center. Next up is the last and final exam, being that of magical combat. Given that, participants have to spar with one another, as Yuno is basically going to be facing against that of a noble who feels like he has been, disrespected due to, basically passing each and every exam with flying colors. Asta was taken by that of Seiki, who basically insults him over and over again, telling him that he's kind of an embarrassment in being in this exam as a whole. Even that last test seems like nothing but a damn fluke after all. Saying that there's no chance of him ever being a Magic Knight and should just give up now. That's why he's basically going to beat him without even trying. Hearing all this, Asta couldn't help but get even more annoyed. Within, the kinship stone on that of his wrist begins to react, as each one of his monsties begin to feel the rage coming off of Asta, especially Ratha. As Asta begins feeling this rage, it soon died down for a bit, as he took deep breaths and calmed himself. Within, soon, he's saying, "Bring it." As soon one of them begins to oversee that of the match. Within, soon Seiki using that of his bronze magic creating that of a magical barrier over himself, as he begins to gloat and say that nobody has ever been able to pierce his bronze magic barrier, and saying that he should just give up now. However, bringing out with that a full-on speed, pulling out using his 5-leaf clover grimoire, pulling out that of the demon slayer sword once again with all of his might. He slams the anti-magic sword on the magic barrier, cracking it and breaking it, while also slamming into Seiki, slamming him into the ground as well, with then creating that of a crater in out of the arena, with everybody completely shocked, even the captains as well, believing that Asta must have used that of amplification magic to increase his speed and strength after all. However, Yami, on the other hand, couldn't help but smirk and saying, nope, that was not magic at all. That was pure, raw strength. That's something you don't see every day. As Yami couldn't help but be quite impressed with Asta's raw physical power. Within soon, Asta, having that of the Demon Slayer sword on his shoulders, couldn't help but say, now you can continue making fun of me all you want. I don't give a damn. You can continue ridiculing me for not reaching any of those other tests. I can care, but if you disrespect me like that ever again and mock me for my efforts alone, then I'll show you. After all, I am going to become the Wizard King, no matter what. With then soon hearing that, many of them couldn't help but think that Asta is basically, delusional. No way in hell that he is going to become the Wizard King without any magic. Even a few of the captains couldn't help but think that Asta's lost it as well, except Yami, once again. However, for two reasons, actually. The first reason is because he wants to see if this kid actually has the potential to do it, but also because he noticed something on Asta's wrist, something quite familiar. With then, on the outskirts of the Clover Kingdom, all three of Asta's monsties couldn't help but roar in that of acceptance with that of Asta, feeling their rider's emotions and his determination to always stand strong. It's the reason that they still admire him and look up to him to this day. And let's just say some of the people that are actually nearby of the exit and also in the Clover Kingdom can hear this roaring, leaving them somewhat in fear. And hopefully this exam ends quickly before Magic Knights that aren't at the exam basically investigates. As the Magic Knight exam finally comes to its conclusion, it's now time for the applicants to be chosen, with William Vengeance basically explaining that the captains will be deciding on who they want, while the ones who raise their hands for them to choose on which squad they wish to be part of. As each applicant was called up, especially given that they used that of their applicant number instead of calling out their name, with some not getting offers, some getting one offer, and some getting at least 2 or 3 offers. However, it's when Yuno soon appears that he gets offers for everybody, even the captain of the Blue Rose, Charlotte, even though the Blue Roses are normally that of a all-females, Magic Knight squad. Within Yuno couldn't help but smirk before saying, tell me, which of the Magic Knight squads would get me to become the Wizard King the fastest? Within hearing that, soon Vengeance actually couldn't help but smile, saying, that would be my squad, the Golden Dawn, as we answered truly directly towards that of the Wizard King himself. Within, after saying that, Yami actually couldn't help but scoff too, saying, you do know he does the same thing with me too. Just because we have a less successful rate doesn't mean that that's far from the case. William heard this as hearing the words from that of his former squad mate comrade. William couldn't help but also have that of a cheeky smirk, even though he's normally more stoic, have that of a stoic smile almost all the time. Within hearing that, Yuno couldn't help but agree to join the Golden Dawn. With that, soon, Yuno couldn't help but sit on the sidelines, waiting on until Asta was called. But then his number was called. But soon, wondering on who would actually choose Asta, as nobody raises their hands. Before then, Yami stands up from his seat, saying, "It's no surprise that nobody would choose you." With then, Sue jumping from that of the balcony and onto that of the main arena, as he begins to leak a bit of his magical pressure and killing intent towards Asta, saying, "Even though you're good at combat and you're good at thinking outside of the box, nobody is going to be basically adding that of a wild card such as you to their Magic Knight squad. You have no magic, and yet you say you want to become the Wizard King with lack of that? Tell me, can you say it to my face? Say it straight to my face. You say you can become the Wizard King with no magic like that." As Yami giving that of a killer look, almost to the point of wanting to make Asta run away and scream in fear. However, with all of his might, with every aspect of his body, with even the kinship stone on his side begins to shine even brightly, even to the point that everybody, even the captains, alongside that of Yuno, noticed the kinship stone glowing. As Asta, finally coming to his senses, having that of a serious look, saying, "Even if I don't pass this exam, I'll try again and again. I will become Wizard King. No matter the hardship, no matter the struggle, no matter how much it takes me. That will be my goal, my determination. Don't underestimate it." As he says all this, the shine from the kinship stone continues to shine even brighter and brighter, almost to the point that everybody is confused on what's going on, except that of Yuno and Yami. Within, Yami couldn't help but remove that of his mana and his killing intent, then saying, "And that's all I needed to hear, kid." "Well then, I'm offering you a position to the Black Bulls. You may just let you know, we're considered the worst of the worst. So, you're going to have to work your ass up to become the Wizard King from the bottom of the barrel. So, still want to take it?" With then, Asta having that of a feral grin and a serious look on his face, saying, "Hell yeah. No way in hell I'm basically backing down. Even if I had to start from the worst of the worst, I'm still going to become Wizard King." Within, Yami couldn't help but smirk, saying, "Well then, welcome to the Black Bulls, kid." With saying, as then Asta couldn't help but have that of an excited and happy smile on his face. With then Yuno also couldn't help but smile. With soon Vengeance actually showing up, saying, "We should be getting going now, Yuno." Saying, "Yes, Captain." With Yuno still having a smile, saying, "Good luck, Asta. You're gonna need it, brother." With soon walking away, is then Finral showing up, saying, "Seriously, Captain Yami, you really do know on how to basically make a scene, don't you?" But then soon Gordon also muttering, saying, "I kind of knew the captain was basically bluffing. I kind of figured that he had, an attention on this guy. However, nobody can hear his little muttering after all, and whispering." Within soon, Yami, not even bothering with Gordon, just saying, "Well, duh. Why would I not?" Also, before we head back to the hideout, we need to pick up something or some things, I'm guessing. With then Asta couldn't help but blink, saying, "Oh, right! Yeah, there is something we need to go. Outskirts of the Clover Kingdom." With then Finral saying, "Why do we need to go there? Did you left something?" Saying, "Well, you could say that." As Asta basically says this, with then scratching the back of his head with his eyes closed and basically laughing to himself a bit. A couple minutes later, Finral begins to freak out saying, "What the hell are those things?" As Finral seeing that of Ratha, Score, and Volt, with Ratha actually having that of a look of pure and utter, hatred. Score not even bothered, but still keeping on guard. As for Volt, basically acting like that of a puppy seeing that of new people, as he basically jumps around but not pouncing on them, with then saying, "These are my monsties. I've had them since I was a kid, and I decided to bring them with me to become that of Magic Knight. Hope it ain't too much of a problem." With then soon, Yami saying, "Nah, nothing much. We actually have, weird creatures that we take in, actually. However, these things, they can basically give the things that we take in that of a run for their money. So I hope that their house broken." With then, as Finral's still freaking out, Gordon, on the other hand, couldn't help but still look somewhat worried, but also somewhat intrigued at the same time. With then saying, "Trust me, I've taken care of these things since I was at least that of 7 years old, actually. They'll be good, trust me." With then patting that of Ratha on his snout to keep him calm, even that of rubbing the scales on that of Score, with even making sure that Volt basically sits still. With Suit saying, "All right then, Finral, bring him in. Open up the portal." Saying, right. Just let me make it a little bit bigger." With then soon, as Finral using that of his grimoire to amplify that of his spatial magic, with then making it at least that of several times bigger, with as the portal is a lot larger now, saying, "All right, kid, let's get going." With soon walking through that of the portal first, then Gordon, with soon Asta doing the exact same thing, as then Ratha, Score, and Volt follow after. Going through that of the portal, they soon arrive at that of a mishmash crazy building, as this being the Black Bull's hideout. With then Asta saying, "Wow, what is this place?" Saying, "Welcome to the Black Bull's HQ and hideout. You're home from home." Now then, let's welcome you to everyone else, as they're about to go to that of the door. Within soon, on that of the side of the door, a giant hole just basically pops through. With Asta completely, totally shocked, Ratha, on the other hand, couldn't help but feel somewhat confused. Score, not really caring, and Volt, kind of curious after all. Looking through that of the wall, you see that of a hodgepodge of crazy individuals. Two people basically chasing after one another. One with that of a fire bat, the other basically flying around using lightning. A small girl basically eating tons of food with sheep basically bringing her the food. A woman basically half naked with bra and panties. A guy basically looking at a mirror of a little girl. And a big guy with basically having that of smoke coming out of their mouth, even though they don't look like they have a mouth. With Asta completely and utterly shocked and surprised, within soon, Yami couldn't help but say, "Welcome to the Black Bulls, kid. Your new home." With then, Asta begins to think, "I think I made the wrong decision here." And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Let's read them. Sorry that this was too short and I didn't really go into details about the other. Honestly, wasn't really. I basically just make this beat for beat like that in the anime, actually, and in the manga. There wasn't really much changes besides going back and forth between that of the exam and Ansta's monsties reacting to that of his emotions through the kinship stone. So yeah. And don't worry, next part will be a lot more longer and it will deviate a lot more from that of canon. Still somewhat the same, but with added changes. So be prepared for that, guys, in the future. At any rate, if you guys like this, please Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep to date my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, my other channel, my Patreon, and my Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care. You're up next, Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!